Hey everyone, welcome to Wildlife Inspired. I'm your host, Scott Keys. This is your channel for photography, for wildlife, and for wildlife photography. In today's video, I'm going to talk about this long lens bag by PGYTECH. I already did an unboxing and first impressions video, but this is the real world usage, the follow-up video, the one that really matters. How did I feel about this bag after using it for well over a month? I've also got some bonus content down here on the table. We're going to talk about some short lens hoods that could be used in combination with that bag and a couple other accessories in this one. So stay tuned and we'll get to all of that right after this. Now, before I get into this bag review, I want to congratulate PGYTECH on their 10-year anniversary. They're celebrating it with a new logo, which I'm going to unveil for you right here. Earlier, about a month ago, I did a first impressions on this long lens bag. For wildlife photographers with these large prime lenses, maybe the 400mm 2.8 or the 600 f4 or even the 500 f4, we need bags that can accommodate this. And what I look for, or what I want, which is what most people want, can I get the lens attached to the body inside the bag without turning the lens hood around or inverting that lens hood. So this bag does all that, and in the first video I talked about the features. I did a pretty detailed review of this. I'm going to summarize a couple things over here, primarily around price. So this is the price point that we're at. It's available right on PGYTECH and also on B&H Photo. Now, a couple things about this. They gave me the bag to look at, first impressions. I did that video. I am under no obligation to make any follow-up videos for them. In fact, I'm not being paid for this. But if I like a product, here's the thing. If I like a product, I'm going to tell you about it. It is real critical to my persona on YouTube that I gain credibility. And in my reviews, if I like a product, I'm going to tell you about it. Whether I'm being paid or whether it's gifted to me, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to tell you about it. So we did that first video. There are several videos out there. Most of these are first impression or unboxing videos. And I'm going to tell you, as a reviewer, somebody doing YouTube videos, those first impression type videos are nice, but there's nothing like real world usage. I mean, if it looks good and it feels good out of the box, that's great, but how did it perform when it was out in the field? So here's what I did. September's a pretty busy month for me. I do a lot of hiking. I do a lot of fall migrations. For most of you, you know I'm a bird photographer primarily, and I travel into some of these mountain areas to photograph both migrating hawks and migrating songbirds. So I do most of my hiking around this time of year. Now, my hikes are fairly short, so we're talking a quarter mile to a mile each way. So these aren't really long, in-depth hikes. So for me, there's a couple things about this bag. Again, if you want the details, go back to the first video. I'll put the thumbnail over here. A couple things about this bag. One, it is obviously a full-size bag, so pretty tall. I want to show you just in comparison for size. This is my travel-on bag. This is a backpack I've used for years. The company no longer exists, so I can't really do a review on it. You may recognize that old logo for some people that have been doing photography for a while. This bag is a carry-on size. The bag that I'm reviewing or talking about today is not carry-on size, but much better in terms of carrying that long lens around when you're doing your hikes. This will not accommodate my long lens with the body turned on unless I invert that hood, which is a pain. Take it out, put it in, it's more likely to get scratched. So this bag I still use. I use it for my shorter lenses, and I use it to carry my laptop and electronics equipment, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So my hikes. I don't need all of the features that it came with, and what I loved about this is on the back, it was extremely comfortable. I mentioned in that first video, these straps are all adjustable, the height can be changed. Didn't have to change much out of the box, but I did adjust these straps for my torso. Found this to be extremely comfortable on my back. They also include like a belt system down here that attaches to your waist. If you are doing 2 to 3 hour hikes with your camera, you may want that. But for me, doing shorter hikes, I don't need that. In fact, I find it to be in the way. A lot of camera bags, you can't remove that. This camera bag allows you to remove that. Loved it. Let me get down to the nitty gritty on this one. There's a couple things I want to talk about is which lenses will it fit? I got some comments in that first video about, Scott, your lens fit in there, but mine did not. So some people were using a 600mm f4 lens and they found it would be just a little bit too long. That's where part 2 of this real quick video is going to come in. We're going to talk about these lens hoods in just a minute. I want to show you this space inside. You can see with my lens, it's fitting no problem. I've got a couple inches in here to spare. Part of that is because I did go ahead and change the lens hood. So you could see this lens hood down here that we're going to talk about in just a minute, compared to the original lens hood, is about 2 inches shorter. So this is the original lens hood. This is my new lens hood that I'm using. So for those people that were struggling fitting that 600 f4 in here, I do want to talk about another product real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap up the video and talk about this bag and what I liked and what I didn't like. There's a couple hoods down here. So for those people that have searched this video out for a solution, you want that long lens bag. Notice how much shorter this is. On the 600 f4, this hood for my lens is 7 inches. The 600 f4, I think it's around 8 inches. Sorry, I'm not going to do the conversions to metrics. You can get the size of variance just real easily. This one's going to be about half the length of that 600 f4. It's going to save you 4 inches. My guess is if you use this product, this new lens hood, on your existing lens, you should be able to fit it in there. You might have to do some measuring, see how short you are, but this will save you 4 inches. They make many different sizes. So this is a company called Zemlin. I've done a video that mentioned them before. I loved their products so much. I got a cover for my lens, like just a kind of a protective that covers the glass, a little protective covering. I love that so much. I reached out and said, hey, would you guys send me these lens hoods? I'm doing a video. I think it would tie in really well here. These are not for my camera, so I'm sending these back. But I did. They were nice enough to send me, and really a wonderful company to work with. Carl Zemlin's the owner and does all the work himself. Really well made. It's a bayonet style, so it means I can kind of pop it on, and it's very well manufactured, so it just pops right on and really secure. So use this out in the field a little bit, have had no problems with that. Definitely take a look at that. I like it as just a shorter option. Some of these lens hoods feel very long, so it's nice as just a shorter option. The one I got is a 2-piece, so I can actually make it bigger. I can add a second piece to it, or I can just use the 1 piece. So a really, really nice product. I wanted to mention them, show it to you, and give you the real size comparison. These are for the Canon 600 f4, so you could see how small that is. So there's definitely an option out there. Much, much less expensive than buying the original replacement hood. These will run you somewhere between, I'm going to put a range out there from $100 to $300 for these hoods. But I would tell you, everybody that I've talked to, I get tons of comments on these hoods. Everybody loves them. Never heard a bad word about them. And the customer service is just fantastic. So anyway, take a look at these Zemlin's hoods. I think you'll really, really enjoy that. I've got another little product here. Another company sent me. I found myself using this on my last trip. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. This is a little phone holder. It's just one of these magnetic phone holders. I added a mini tripod back here, or a mini ball head back here. It's got a bunch of connection points. The thing that made this a little bit unique is it's got the ability to have these claws open up. I'll show it to you close up. And it holds your phone. Now, I've worked with this company before. This is called Sandmark. They're not paying me for any of this. If I like a company, I'm going to mention it. They make little lenses for your iPhone. I'm going to do a video on this in the future, but I've been using their macro lens for my iPhone for very specific applications, and I found it to be very, very good. So I saw this product out there. I said, hey, I'm going to do a video. If I like the product, I'll throw it in that video. I'm going to throw it in this video because I found myself using it on my latest trip. Now, what was my latest trip? So I told you about hiking. Hiking was really no problem with this. Super, super comfortable. I also just did a trip to northern New England, so along the Canadian border. And for that trip, I was in my car. Here's what I really, really liked about this bag. I could take this bag. I kind of half zipped it all the time. And I would just throw my camera in here. It's very well padded, and it's got like some cradles in here. And so it stayed in my car all the time. So if I'm transporting in my car, I've got my small bag with my laptop and electronics and smaller lenses. I've got that over there. In the past, I would typically take a hard case, and so made by Pelican. There's a lot of hard cases out there. It wasn't real convenient. It's well protected, but for car travel, it wasn't convenient. This was perfect. I could put my camera in the bag when I'm going to destination to destination. I didn't have to worry about, we're up in moose country. I didn't have to worry about hitting the brakes hard. and watching my camera go flying. So I felt it protected my camera all the time. It's big enough that I could keep my camera ready to go. So if I had to shoot, I reach in the back seat, I just grab it right out and I'm ready to shoot. When I didn't need it, I would put it back in that bag and try to keep it in that bag rather than be lazy and just let it kind of roll around the trunk, which I know you've done it too. So that was the other use for this. I found it really, really great for car travel. Just a way to protect it and still have really easy access. A couple things about this one. On my hikes, one of the things I liked about this is I mentioned all the pockets. I had snacks in here, water in here. I had all kinds of travel electronics. It was really, really, really great. This removable belt I loved. And I could tell you right now, like, again, not paid, just full endorsement. I really, really liked it. This, some elastics on the front. I would put a pad in here that I could sit on when I'm sitting up in the rocks in the mountains. That pretty much went with me everywhere I went. And I could fit all my snacks and water in here, along with my long lens, some electronics inside. It was just really, really, really nice bag. So anyway, PGYTECH, this is the follow-up video. And here's the thing. I want you to subscribe to the channel, and here's why. When you get reviews from other people, they are often going to be around a marketing event. So this bag just launched a couple weeks ago, 4 or 6 weeks ago. And the company's going to send some bags out to get it reviewed, get a first impression. People are going to do that, and then they're going to put it in the closet, and they're not going to use it every day and tell you how it actually was. With my channel, I consider myself to be like the practical wildlife photographer. I'm a very practical person. I always try to give you the real on-hands experience. If I didn't like this bag, if there was something wrong with it, I would mention it in this video. I haven't come across anything yet, guys. Like, I haven't come across anything. If there was anything breaking or peeling apart or any, like delamination anywhere, or stitching problems, I would mention that in this video. I don't know what it's going to be a year from now. Maybe I make another video a year from now and let you know. But for right now, I can tell you I've had zero concerns. Very, very comfortable. I think the price point was right there with the other competitors that I've seen. But I've seen this one seems to be the most. There's only 4 or 5 bags in this range. Companies making it. This one had the most features of all of those bags. And again, I love that you could, I could take some of these compartments out if I want. So I can lighten the bag up, or I can make it a little bit more sturdy depending on what my needs are. And remember, if you are having trouble with these long lenses on any bag system, not fitting, take a look at these shorter hoods by Zemlin. I think you're going to really, really appreciate that. A quick video for you today. That's all I've got on this one. Stay tuned. I've got some big announcements coming up. I am transitioning. I haven't made a lot of videos lately because I'm actually transitioning from one line of work into a full-time photography business. I've been doing this part-time for years now. I really, really enjoy it. There's nothing like working for yourself. It's a little scary. So more videos to come about my transition and hopefully doing more YouTube videos in the future. But for now, I just wanted to give you this bag review. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. That'll let you know when I have a new video out. Hit the thumbs up. That'll push this content out to like-minded individuals. And as always, I hope we can continue to find inspiration in wildlife together.